Okay, so I've finished up building this agent on N8N and giving it a knowledge base that I can use via RAG. For those who don't know, RAG, R-A-G, stands for Retrieval Augmented Generation. And basically what it does is instead of you asking the agent a question and the agent sending that to the LLM, and then the LLM sending it back to the agent, and the agent sending you the response, your question goes to the agent and then to the LLM, and then it goes and uses RAG and it sends the question to the knowledge base, and then the knowledge base sends an answer back to the LLM, to the agent, and then back to the message. So I'm just going to show you guys how it works real quick. Just going to copy and paste the question here. See, so how long does it take to launch an AI automation? You can see the tool working there. Node executed successfully means that the automation ran properly. Let me just expand this here. Yeah, and it gives you your answer. So typically it takes 1 to 4 weeks to launch an AI automation, depending on the scope of the project, and blah, 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 blah. You can read the rest of it. And basically I set up a knowledge base beforehand, as you can see here. So I go back up to the top. We got a table of contents, and basically when you ask it a question, it sends that question to this knowledge base and searches this knowledge base to answer those questions for you. Okay, so I'm gonna quickly try and explain RAG here. I know I mentioned it in the previous bit for the agent that I built today. But basically, when you have a conversation, just pretend that's a message. When you have a conversation with a AI agent and you send it a message, it goes into the LLM. And then the LLM turns a response back to you with an answer to your question. The problem with that is sometimes it's not accurate because LLMs are trained on a set amount of data. So that's why they have to be updated every once in a while. So if it's trained on this set of data, but 6 months have gone by, and now there's that much more data, it doesn't know the answers for all this new data. So it needs to be retrained on that. So RAG can kind of help fill in those gaps. So if you have a message, it sends it to the LLM, and then the LLM forwards it to a knowledge base, KB, right? Using RAG. Okay? And then the knowledge base sends an answer back to the LLM, and the LLM sends the message back to you. Now, just to give another illustration of it as far as the data. So like I said earlier, the LLM is only trained on X amount of data, and it has to be updated every so often to be retrained on the data. So if the LLM in the new update knows that 2 plus 2 is equal to 4, great, you ask it the question, hey, what's 2 plus 2? It can spit it back out to you, 2 plus 2 is equal to 4. But if you ask it what 4 plus 4 is, and it hasn't been trained on the data because that data is new, then there's something called grounded data and ungrounded data, and the LLM will give you back a ungrounded response, which is where it can hallucinate and give you hypothetical answers that may not be correct. So you could ask the LLM, hey, what's 4 plus 4? And it could give you an answer and say 4 plus 4 is equal to 3. It's not actually true, obviously. 4 plus 4 isn't equal to 3. But it's hallucinating. It's just giving you an answer for the sake of giving you an answer. And that's where RAG comes in and helps fill that gap. So if you can add into your knowledge base that, that's fine. That a knowledge base, you can add in that 4 plus 4 is equal to 8. Now, when you ask the message of, hey, what's 4 plus 4 equal to? It passes that message onto the LLM and then onto the knowledge base, and the knowledge base spits it back out at you. So that's basically what RAG is in the simplest terms. Yeah, so that's really it for today. I had church this morning, and then I went up to the boat into my uncle's cottage for a little bit just to spend some time with family. I haven't really done that too much in the last little bit. So I didn't get to work on this as much as I have been, but I did learn how RAG worked, and I was able to explain that pretty well. And then I was also able to figure out the AI agent that I was working on yesterday. I was able to figure out my issues with that. Yeah, so if you found that useful, if you found that RAG explanation pretty good, let me know, leave a thumbs up. And yeah, stick around for more.